Hello everybody, Brad Johnson here. I have another exciting video for you all today. And in this video we're going to be talking about setting yourself free. Now, sounds like a very simple topic, right? But there's a lot of juicy information that we need to discuss to get into this, to get a greater clarity about what's being discussed here. All right? Again, for the near 12 years that I've been doing this work, I'd say it is 12 years already. August of this year is 12 years since I've been doing all of this work. And when I've worked with thousands of people all over the world, this is again what everybody wants. They want to set themselves free. Because I ask a person, well, what do you want out of life? Brad, I just want to be free. I just don't want to be bound to anything. I want to enjoy life. I want to enjoy everything this world has to offer. I want to feel like I can do anything on this planet. And I tell them, you can. You have the opportunity. Well, but. And that's where the buts come in. We don't seem to understand. And I speak in authority of this because I've done all this work. I've done this inner work. I've cleansed myself. I've worked through all of these incredible challenges. So I know the hardship that comes in. But again, we don't seem to realize that we're the one holding the key right here to this padlock. Right, it's got a little keyhole right there. We're the one that has the key, and we're the one that's padded the door with this lock. It's padlocked. And we've been holding the key the whole time. And we don't give ourselves permission to take that key, to put it into the lock, to turn, take the lock off, open the door. Here's paradise. Here's freedom. No, there's too many things wrong with us. There's too many things that are on our mind where we feel we cannot go into that paradise. So we feel despair. We feel hopeless. We feel inadequate. We're disturbed by everything. We're sensitive. I could list 1,000 things on this board. I just don't have the room. But again, it goes on and on and on. We're in despair, we're hopeless, we're inadequate, we're playing blame games, we're victims. We fear everything, we're in anxiety, we're afraid to live, we're afraid to die. It all just keeps coming back and back again about all these things that prevent us from putting the key into the lock, to opening up that door and to going into paradise with God. Because that's really what it's all about. And that's one of the first things that you can admit to yourself that will set you free. I am God. When you admit this, you're free. Just by admitting this. Alright? So if I basically go and said to this, no, I am not God. You're shackled. You're conditioned. You're feeble. Which means you're just this little mortal human who feels that they have all these conditions and they have to try and work through all these things. And as long as you put the not in the I am not God, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to have problems. You're going to have issues. You are chaining yourself to life. You are chaining yourself into all of the insecurities, into everything that represents the mortal dilemmas that you experience. So this big long list of all these things that I could continue to go on and on, thousands of different terms, are mortal dilemmas. Okay? It's a mortal dilemma with all these things. Well, maybe I should just go find a guru, a teacher, a helper, and they can clear all this out for me. They can just do all their work. They can do all these great techniques that they have because they've disciplined themselves. They've worked with themselves. They've gone through this. So I just go up to them and say, Brad, go ahead and do that, right? Like you do on the webcasts. And I'm better. I'm feeling great. Well, that can work. That can absolutely work. But then a couple days later, you're back to the grind again. You're back into mortal dilemmas, right? So when I do this for people, when I work with them, and I work with God, I work with Spirit, right? And we look into these areas within your being that you're ready to let go of, we clear that out. You feel an elation, you feel great. And I've gotten this feedback from hundreds of people that I've done this with. Brad, I feel great, I feel amazing, I feel great. Some of them come back. I would say most of them come back. Oh, I'm feeling rotten again. I'm feeling terrible again. I feel like all this stuff has come back again. Well, of course it can, because that's exactly what I say to you guys after this is done, right? Make sure you continue to do the work on yourself, because all of this can come back again, right? So, what am I trying to convey to you when I'm doing something of the example of distance healing, right? When we look into a person who's got a sore back or has other forms of difficulties within themselves that we're able to uplift, what am I trying to tell you? That this energy works, but it's not a one-time thing. It's not just a hit and then, okay, that's it, I'm done. Oh, wait, I go back into the grind again, and now I go back into slavery. I go back into mortal dilemma again. You are not setting yourself free because you are not living. You're surviving. You're barely surviving. You're barely holding on. So as long as we continue to give these power, you will forever be stuck here. You'll ever be stuck in a mortal dilemma. Mortal dilemmas. Because again, that's what we are constantly giving our power to. We are giving our power so often to this 4-letter word. That's what we give it to. Okay? I don't care what teacher you go to. I don't care what guru you go to. All right? You have to go to some psychic. You have to go to some intuitive. You have to go to some healer. You have to go to some teacher. You have to go to some guru. They are not going to take that away from you. Okay? Cannot be done. All they can do is it's like being in a shopping mall or in a grocery store. Okay? You go through the front door, and in this reality, we don't wear masks. Yay. And they hand you a free sample. Hey, would you like a free sample of this? You take it. Oh, it feels good. I feel great. Feels wonderful. Couple days passed. Back into lack again. Right? We went into the grocery store. We had our free sample from our teacher, from a psychic, from an intuitive, from a healer, from a guru, etc. Because we thought that the answer was outside of ourselves. Ain't. Right? Buzzer going off. No. People are here to help. They're here to assist. They're here to guide. But they are not here to take this from you. Okay? You cannot have another person take this away. Say that with me right now. You cannot have another person take away your lack. Okay? Cannot be done. But that is through your intention to go within. Right? You can take people within yourself. You can take them on this journey. This is why we share our stories. This is why we share our hardships, our challenges. We're taking someone within ourselves. So we can take the shirts with us. We can take the cards with us. We can take the tarot with us, right? Within ourselves. But the only one that's going to institute change within is yourself, because you're the one that is experiencing all these mortal dilemmas. Right? So, what is preventing you from setting yourself free is by completely aligning to lack, right? Which means you're only in mortal dilemma because you're unwilling to change. And that's it. The only reason you're preventing yourself from setting yourself free is because you are not doing this. This is what matters. This is the most important thing. This is what we have to fuel. This is what we have to feed. This is what we need to worship within ourselves, is the ability to change, right? If you are not willing to change, then maybe at best you'll give yourself little raindrops of love here and there. And it'll just start sprinkling down upon, a little shower of love. Oh, that's nice. A couple days pass. We're in an uproar again. We're back in the mortal dilemma once again. Because all you see is this. All you see is lack in the world. It's on your news. It's on your internet. It's on your phone. It's in the people that you live with. It's your next door neighbor. It's this, it's that, and it's the other thing. I'm in lack. The world's in lack. And I can't do anything about it. No, you can't. And that's something you have to understand. Right? You feel that you look at the entire collective consciousness and you have to try and carry that weight over the shoulder. It's like trying to carry a mountain over your back and you're the size of an ant. It will crush you. Okay? You cannot work with mortal dilemma and feel that you have the ability to carry the entire weight of the planet on your back to try and feel like you're going to fix everything. Give me a break. Right? I cannot do that. And I would never try to do that. The great masters, going back thousands of years, let's look at Jesus. Did he transform the entire world to making it a luminous, rainbow-like society? No, he didn't. He went through a state of sacrifice. Did Buddha try and change the world? No, he didn't. He worked with people that he was able to connect with personally and help to uplift them because they were willing to change. Right? Same with Jesus. Able to work together with you because you were willing to change. You left an opening of change to happen. And as long as that opening is there, you can set yourself free. Right? But it's coming back into this statement right here. We got to clear that knot out of the way. I am God. Period. And when you say that, oh my God, it's incredible. I can change. I am God. I can change. Do I believe that? Yes, I do. Do I believe that? Oh, not really. Well, then you're back here. Day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, you're back here. You're back with your mortal dilemmas. And you're not willing to work with them because all they're doing is just piling up like loose change. It's like just loose change that you're just dropping into a jar. And now you're getting all this mortal dilemma. Every single one of those coins are mortal dilemma. And there are coins that are of a greater value, that have more sense quality to them, and they represent the bigger dilemmas, right? So maybe I got a dollar coin, right? And that represents fear. I have hopelessness, but that's only a penny, etc. We're dumping all of that loose change into this jar, and the jar is now overflowing. And this represents the illusion of our own karmic debt, as I've talked about. Karmic debt is an illusion. The idea of sin is an illusion because they are self-imposed. Okay? It is a self-imposing idea that represents sin and debt. Okay? It's no more different than looking at our money system, right? The fiat currency. How is it created? It's created out of debt. Well, where is debt? Show me debt. Where is it? Where's debt? It's not there. It's made up. It's out of thin air. Okay? Same thing goes with your sin and your karmic debt, whatever you want to call it. Okay? It's imposed by you because you have put it into practice. It's intangible. You cannot point to it and says, there it is. There it is. It's over here. My karmic debt's right over here. It's behind the couch. No. Okay? It is an intangible thing. It is your own beliefs. It is your own emotions that is causing this illusion of karma. And what do? Many of us who are in the spiritual community, we start playing with the idea of karmic debt. We start playing with the idea of sin in that way. And we start looking at esotericism. I guess that's how you spell it. Looking into the esoteric. All right? We are being so esoterical relating to this. Oh, well, what does my karma say about this? And what about other past lifetimes? And what about this? Yes, you have other lifetimes, but you're using them as an excuse. Yes, you have other forms of realities that you occupy, but you're using them as an excuse. You are being so overly esoteric with yourself that you're overcomplicating the entire issue. Right? Self-imposing, sin, karmic debt can be resolved by you giving love, compassion, and forgiveness to all of this because you're willing to do this. You're willing to change. And as you're willing to change, all of this can be cleared out. You do not have to spend days, weeks, months, or years looking into the esoteric dribble of yourself and feeling that that's what's going to make a difference. I just have to look at, in Egypt I burned a person alive. Oh, well, yeah, I'm burning people alive all the time here. Right? It's a message. It's a mirror back to you in that sense. It's saying that you are unwilling to accept change. And if someone tries to bring change to you, then you're going to just dump a bunch of kerosene on them, light a match, and set the bastard on fire. Okay? That's exactly what this memory is telling you. Okay? It's the Akashic Records showing you this particular memory. We don't have a time machine. We're not going back into that way to verify it. We don't have to. It's a memory of another lifetime telling you, oh my God, I set people on fire. You're looking at it on a very surface level. You ask the Akashic Records, what am I still holding on to? You see yourself as a priest dumping kerosene on a person, taking a torch, lighting them on fire. So, oh my God, was I a brutal murderer? You're not listening. You have to look deeper into what that image is telling you. This is how you treat people when they try to get you to change. This is how you resist change. You will set it ablaze. You will set it on fire. You will try to destroy it. Because the last thing you want to hear is saying that you're inadequate. Is saying that you don't listen, is to say that you're stubborn. In a way you are, because you're in mortal dilemma, right? So it's not about having to feel that you have to go into these very deep states of esoteric nature, of esotericism, I guess that's how you pronounce it, right? The esoteric, and feeling that you need to do it. Because I hear this all the time. I get this from people all the time about saying, Brad, this must be my karma, it must be my past lifetime in Lemuria. It must be my past time in Egypt. It must have been something I did in the Pleiades that did this. And will you get over yourself? Right? Get out of that mentality. Be here. Be in this lifetime. Right? Because even though we're being shown these things, you're not getting it. You're misinterpreting what is actually being shared. The idea of being able to define your dreams and define your memories that come through, visions, is something that you're really born with, right? Some people will try to teach this to others, but others won't really get it, right? They have to look to a ledger. They have to look to a book. They have to look to some type of system. And those are so very limiting. I have the natural ability to look at a person's dreams, to look at a person's vision, and tell them exactly what they're going through, right? That's just something I'm born with. I have not looked into dream research or anything of that nature, okay? That's spirit talking to me to say, hey, this person has this. This is what they're going through. This is what their dream means, right? It's mostly something that you're born with, okay? You just have that energy because you work with spirit very well. Now, if you work to develop your connection with spirit very, very well, spirit will give you a very accurate presentation about what it is that you're looking at, pertaining to visions, pertaining to dreams. Akashic experiences, etc. And those are good. I'm not bashing the Akashic records together. I mean, I do them, right? But again, so many people get trailed off. They look at something, they feel something within themselves, and they think that they're horrified, and that they're a brutal murderer, and that they're despicable, and they add to the mortal dilemma more and more. And that's not what's being shared here. It's saying that I feel like I just can't bring change in. Why is this happening, Akashic records? And now you see yourself within Egypt, setting that person on fire, right? Because that's how you treat change. That's how you treat it. That would be my interpretation of a person that says, well, when I asked about change and that happened, why did that happen? Because that's what you do to change. That's what change means to you. You would set it on fire because you don't want to feel that you're inadequate. You're stubborn as hell, right? And that's why you set it ablaze. So again, like I said, so many things could come down here pertaining to the aspect of mortal dilemma, all right? But it really comes down to the idea of you going within, realizing I am God, and bringing in change. Now that you're willing to change, you have a tapestry. You have a waterfall of abundance, of love that is flowing down here. Okay? If lack is this ugly black blob right here, and you got this cascading waterfall that is so massive, so incredibly vast, it's because you admitted this. I am God. I go within, and I am able to change. Now this waterfall of great love and compassion and forgiveness is available to you, and you become that waterfall. It's exactly what I've taught with the BCR technique, right? It's a free technique right on my channel. You guys know it's not the most popular video on my channel? And do you know why? Because many people don't want to do this. They don't want to change, right? To tell them that they're inadequate, that what they're doing right now is actually creating these mortal dilemmas, that they are self-imposing their sin, their karmic debt upon themselves because it is imposed, something that you create. They don't want to hear that. Hey, what the hell are you trying to say to me, man? Saying I'm some sort of like stubborn ass or something? Well, yeah. Best way I can put it, yeah, you're kind of a stubborn ass, man. Oh, well, let me tell you something. And then they get off, right? But it's the truth, right? We feed this. We feed the mortal dilemma. We feel ourselves as these little feeble, tiny specks of flesh bodies that are just going to come here one moment and be dead the next. And that's how we treat ourselves. And you spit in the face of creation by thinking that, right? Your body is the most sophisticated instrument that has ever been created because it was created by God, right? Any of your little technological gizmos are nothing compared to what God has created with this, to what God has created with the earth, to what God has created through the heavens, through everything that exists. You think this is some fancy little technology, this little whiteboard, some fancy little technology, this little camera here, fancy little technology. It's nothing compared to the sophistication of creation. You have the most sophisticated instrument in creation right now. Because here's a secret for you guys. Man was designed to control everything. Man was designed to control all life. Man, original blueprint of man, is to completely control, manipulate, work with the entire universe, to move mountains with a thought, to create worlds just like Earth was created with a thought, to bring about all of these godlike abilities. Man has the ability to do that, and only humankind has the ability to do that, which means those extraterrestrials that you guys love could never do such a thing. Humanity loves all of the capability, all the extremes, all the polarities, all the contrasts that we have. That's our love. That's who we are, right? It's not to say I'm bashing ETs, right? I'm brothers with Adronis, of course. But even he admits this. He says you put so much energy towards all these other ETs and such. We're the ones that are in reverence of you. Right? You're coming to us and saying, oh, almighty extraterrestrial, thank you, thank you, thank you. What are you doing? We're not anywhere as close as powerful as you are. You're the entire contrast. You're the entire spectrum. You're able to bend everything at will. You're pure love. Truly you are. We're bowing to you. We're in reverence to you. I certainly don't feel that way. No, because you're blind right now. And you got to take off the blindfold. And you got to see exactly what man, what humanity, what mankind is truly capable of. Not just setting yourself free, but being in charge of everything, controlling everything, working with the entire universe like a sandbox. That's what God has bestowed upon us. That's why humanity is the most powerful race in creation. There's no other. Even ones that are hybrids still cannot be as powerful as those who are purely human. Right? Because that's the best that the galactic community can do. They can do hybrid humans. Right? But they're still not as powerful as the original humans. Original humans are the most powerful. Right? Because we have the rainbow, the spectrum, of being able to shape this entire universe. That's what mankind has been given. Humanity has been given this. This goes back into what we were talking about in biblical times, where man came upon the earth and the angels bowed in reverence to them. All right? I talked about this in previous videos. Why do you think they do that? Because God modeled man after himself, after herself. Right? And man can do what God does. No other being in all of creation can do that. Right? That's how powerful we are. We don't get it. Right? Because we look at the news, we look at the collective intent about what's happening in the world, and oh my God, that's so awful and that's so horrible. And now I just put more lack into myself because there's more mortal dilemmas coming together. And we say, well, look at the condition of the world, Brad. Look at the condition of the world. Stop feeling that you are responsible for the entire world. You're not. You're responsible for your world, which means you make your world love. You make your world compassionate. You make your world joyful. You may be in a very, very dark spot, but you keep lighting up this torch, and this torch becomes an inferno. It's an inferno of energy. It's an inferno of love. And now you start drawing other great infernals and torches to you. And now you set the whole world in illumination. Right? It's getting out of this mentality of feeling that you're responsible for the collective. You're not. Get it out of your head. It's not your job to fix the entire collective. It's not your job to say that if you have a bad experience with a grouping of people, that you have to go ahead and try to fix that. Right? You don't fix anything. You work with yourself because you see the world as perfect. Even when it's in chaos. It's perfect. This is exactly what needs to happen. This is all part of a shift that is going to lead us into a greater transformation. You have to understand that no matter what dilemma occurs upon the planet, there is an equal and opposite reaction that will come to it, that is working at the same time that many of you are shielded from. I see it. Do you guys see it? Do you see the love that's working to counterbalance all of this dilemma of the collective world? It's all around you right now. I can see it. How come you guys can't? Right? It's exactly what's happening. You think you're going to see that through the mainstream media? You think you're going to see that through research websites or alternative news? Give me a break. No. You guys are looking at platforms, and those platforms aren't going to do a damn thing for you. other than the idea of you looking at what is on the surface of reality. You have to look at what is behind. And there is so much love being cast upon this planet. If you cannot see it, you're blind. Okay? This is just the truth. What I'm sharing with you guys is the truth here. When you are in a dilemma, when the entire world is in a dilemma, there is an instant and opposite reaction. Right? Equal in nature. Okay, that's your law of physics. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Okay? It's exactly what's happening right now. And the love is pouring upon the entire planet. It's working. It's flowing through us right now. It's in every single atom of your being right now. This love. So everything that you see upon the surface right now is a transitional time. It's a tunnel. We're going through a tunnel and we're seeing all this stuff. Wear masks, coronavirus, COVID-19, protests, riots, etc., etc. All of that, let it go. Let it go. This is exactly the idea of what the world needs to go through. What do? I'm in my world, I'm bringing love and compassion through myself, and I radiate that to everybody else. That's what I do. I think a kind thought for the entire planet, and I send that out. Right? Am I trying to fix anybody within the collective consciousness? No. Am I trying to alter any particular timelines relating to the collective consciousness? No. All I'm doing is being in my world, bringing the love of God within myself. God resides within this body temple. God radiates her light through every cell of this body, and I send that light out. And I'm at peace, and I'm in love, and I'm in joy, and I'm in happiness. I'm in pure ecstasy. That's all I have to do. And now with all that love being sent out, I draw people with me that are of like minds. And now we do it together. And I still may meet some people along the way that are having a difficult time. Well, are you willing to change? Yeah, well then there you go. And we can scrub this out completely. Lack becomes no more. Because you're willing to do this. You're willing to change. You realize I am God. You work with something now like the BCR technique. All of this you work to scrub away. You don't go to other people feeling that they can do that for you. You do it yourself. Because nobody knows these mortal dilemmas better than you. It's yourself. Why would you go to somebody else who does not fully understand what you're going through? We can have impressions, but we do not have the full purity about what's going on with you, the full clarity. And now you clear all of that out because you're not buying into this. Mortal dilemma is no more. You are eternal. You can live forever. And you can live forever when you know that you're this. Oh yeah, Brad, I say that mantra all the time. Yeah, but do you actually feel it? Are you actually this? Are you actually God? Yeah. Because you have this. For you to truly feel this has to go. Everything relating to mortal dilemma, mortal affairs, fears, traumas, illusions, they gotta go. You cannot walk through two doors at the same time. One door, here is the aspect of fear. Another door, here is the aspect of God. What do you choose? The fear, the material, God, purity. It's up to you. You can only go through one door. Right? Goes back to like what Jesus said as well too. You cannot serve two masters. It's the same thing. Right? And people get upset with that. Oh, Brad, can't I have both? No. Because when you're working with God, it's not compatible with lack. Right? Lack and love don't go together. It's like oil and water, ladies and gentlemen. It's oil and water. That's what lack and love is. Right? Here's a glass. Here's water inside. Okay? Here's you pouring the oil in. Okay? Go ahead. Take a drink. You're not going to take a drink with that. right? I'm pouring oil in the glass. Are you going to take a drink of that? No. That's what happens when you try to go through 2 doors at once. You will drink oil with water. Okay? You get the oil out. And now when you drink this water, it is everlasting water. It is water that will sustain you for the rest of your days. You will never go thirsty again. Exactly as Jesus said. He who eats this bread will live forever. He who drinks this water will never be thirsty again. Right? That's the idea here. So, I'll have oil and water together. I'll mix oil and water together. And hey, bottoms up. You're not going to be able to do it. This is, again, you cannot go through 2 doors at once. You choose what door you go to. Either you go to the material world, representing a lot of fear and mortal dilemma, or you go to God. And when you go to God, you are God. You walk this earth as a God. You are God personified, right? And that is the true path. And one who walks through that door is completely open to this, is completely open to going here, and lives this. I am God. Well, someone may ask, Brad, are you God? Yes. Brad, do you live as that God? Yes, I do. I've already made my choice. I'm not part of this mortal world. I've made that decision. I've made that decision quite some time ago. And that is exactly why I'm clearing all of this out. Because I love this. I love to change. I love to go within. There are some things I notice that I realize I do have to change I did not see before. Like, wow, okay. Wow, I have to take a deep breath in, deep breath out. I got to assimilate this. And now it comes into clarity. Okay? Now I realize what I have to let go of. Because that is what's going to set me free. Okay? So all in all, if you want to go free, in conclusion, go within. Be best friends with change. Know that you are God. And clear all this up with the love, the compassion, and the forgiveness that is contained in this vast waterfall that completely overshadows this little blob of lack. And wash it all away. Dissolve it all away. Because you are far greater than any lack that you believe yourself to be. Lack will not define you. Lack is something created by man. Okay, it's man's invention. God never created lack. God created man to rule everything, to conquer everything, to control everything, to create everything as God creates. That's how powerful humanity is. If you do not believe me, you need to see this for yourself, right? You don't have to believe me. You go within yourself and you see this. Okay? This is what I've been shown. This is what I've been told. This is what I've received from God, from Spirit. All right? So, set yourself free by willing to change. Being willing to change, being willing to move yourself into realizing I am God. Clear away your mortal dilemmas. Clear away all self-imposing sin and karmic debt. Lay off the esoterics a little and just come into love. And clear it all away because your love will be stronger than your lack, and that is how you set yourself free. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you again in another perspective of the now. Take care. Thank you very much for checking out my channel. Below you'll see my links to social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also go to healingcodecards.com, pick up your own Healing Code Cards body deck, and of course check out my website at newearthteachings.com. Thank you once again, and I'll see you in the next video.